WION World of Cricket. I'm Isha Hanspal. Earlier on at the M. Chinnaswamy today in a last round game of the group stage between New Zealand and Sri Lanka, New Zealand won the toss and put Sri Lanka into bat first. In 46.4 overs or so, Sri Lanka managed to put up a total of 171 runs, all out. Kusal Perera got the lone half century for Sri Lanka. A knock of 51 of 28. Sadira Samaravikrama, Dushmanta Chamira both scored a single run. The highlight of that Sri Lankan innings, well, for me at least, was towards the end. It was Mahesh Theekshana who frustrated the Kiwi bowlers. He was not willing to give his wicket. For the Kiwis, Trent Boult was the highest wicket taker with a scalp of 3 wickets. He got Mendes, Samaravikrama and Asalanka. I will also have to check basically who got Theekshana because, oh no, Madhushanka. He was taken by Rachin Ravindra because I had to rush into the studios the second that happened. Economy of 3.7 there. Doing so, he also becomes the first Kiwi and the 6th overall to scalp 50 World Cup wickets. That's Trent Boult for you. Mitchell Santner, economy of 2.2, got 2 wickets, those of Angelo Matthews and Dhananjay De Silva. The returning Lockie Ferguson got Pereira and Karuna Ratne, conceded only 35 runs in his 10 overs. Economy of 3.5 there. Tim Southee, I suspect, did not impress Mr. Dav Watmore here today. With the number of runs he conceded, he did get Nisanka though. Dav, you thought I was perhaps Sri Lanka's lucky charm. That's why I left the studio so that, Theekshana continues to torture the Kiwi bowlers there. But I guess that was not to be. He really managed to do that.
He's 39 not out. And actually, I didn't quite realise that his previous efforts in this tournament, he's got 20s consistently. So I know he likes his batting. It looks like he's enjoying it. He looks like he's really trying hard, and that's good to see with with boys who bat down the bottom who can make a contribution. He's done very well for them.
Do those runs count, Dav? He did put up 39
every run. Yeah, look,
runs?
every
Yes,
run counts, Isha. You know, when you've lost 7 of your top batsmen by the 20th over, there's not a lot to look forward to, so these 2 boys did really well to drag it all the way down to nearly 50 overs. I think it was 46 or 47 that they occupied the crease for, but it could have been a lot worse than that. So, every run makes a difference, but it's still a very low total.
I think what I was getting at is, was it enough to, put up that total? Should they have definitely put up more? It's a very low score. We didn't expect this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they went at a hellishly high run rate, the first 10, first 5, first 6, first 7, but they kept losing wickets. So, that's not really in the script because you don't get partnerships that way. And despite Kushal Perera getting those runs quickly, there was too many wickets fell.
Expected a little more from the likes of Samaravikrama, Mendes?
Yes, definitely. Look, Samaravikrama was the leading run scorer before today. Still is, I guess. Not many others got any. There were some good deliveries as well, but I think, really they could have just taken a little bit more time, ensured that they just spent a little bit more time at the crease before, they're able to make some decent contributions. But it wasn't today, and there we are, 74. There's a very good run rate, but the 5 next to it is the problem. And then you have, the gradient going down. That's the wrong direction, so.
Especially the middle overs.
Absolutely. The middle, there was one 10-over block. They got 14, the third, between 21 and 30. So, sadly, the guys are informed, didn't do the job. Asalanka LBWs, Samaravikrama edging. Not good today.
What did you make of the Kiwis' bowling attack? Sure, this is attributed perhaps more to the Lankan batting force.
But it swung nicely. And for the first time in the series, Trent Boult got 3 in the first 10 overs in one game. There was, I think he had a total of 3 in the previous 8 So this is his 9th game, and he's picked up 3, the same as he got in the whole 8 games prior to this. So good effort by that. You know, might give him some confidence going into the semi-final, which I'm assuming they'll win today. Yeah, he did a good job. 3 for 37, 10 overs, couple of spells, did well.
What should have been the ideal total?
On this?
Yes.
Oh,
given the way Sri Lanka has been in the past few games, where do you think they could have pushed it to?
Lot more. At least I think they can, you know, get close to 300, high 200.
Given current Sri Lanka's form.
Yeah. This wicket, you saw how hard it was to get number 9 and 10 out, sort of in the last wicket. It was difficult to get them out. So
what happened then in between where all those 7 fell?
Yeah, it's one of those things that happens every now. Well, Sri Lanka, it's happened too often. Asia Cup final against India, same thing, same opponent. They don't like playing India, and today also they've had they're liable to collapse. They've had that happen, you know, a couple of times before, Isha, and you know that sort of stays in your mind a little bit. You know, it's going to take some time to overcome that. But they just must not lose wickets. We always say that. I've always said it. If you start to lose wickets regularly, and this was very regularly today, then very difficult to set a total. Yeah. Or very difficult to chase a target.
Looks like New Zealand will confirm its 4th spot in the semi-finals.
It's looking that way. Very, very positive that they will come and get those runs, and if they get those runs fairly easily and quickly, then their run rate, their net run rate, you know, goes really high, higher, should I say, which will really give, you know, particularly Pakistan feeling really sad.
Perhaps also change the position in the top 4. You think New Zealand could go further up?
They can only get to 10, right? So
yeah.
They can't go any further up.
They cannot go any further up.
No, they can't. No.
Okay.
But their run rate would be, I think, way too far away for Pakistan. Even if they win, you know, they'll have the calculation, and it'll be totally unrealistic, I would think. I'm looking forward to see what the calculation will be.
Should New Zealand confirm its spot on the 4th spot? They play India. In the semi-finals.
Yes.
Looking at that bowling attack, where do you think is the weak link? Where do you think should they work on? Because we've not really seen them bat again. We will probably discuss this in the post-match as well. Where do you think they have to work?
Yeah, look, New Zealand are a fighting team.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't got the really big names, except for maybe Kane Williamson. Really, maybe Santner, but not that many, you know. So they sort of they casually go into competitions, into different games, and people take them lightly. And then a lot of people talk about punching above their weight. That's the reason, because they haven't got these big names, individuals, and they just work really hard as a team. They have a good tactical thing when they come into each game, and they really work hard to achieve that. So, who's the weak link, you ask? And I still reckon that left arm
because
spinner.
Very soon one of your key battles is going to feature the likes of Kuldeep Yadav, Ashwin, Bumrah.
Well, you're only going to give me 5 battles, so that's not difficult. But you know, there's a lot more that go on in a game. But I'm just picking maybe the major ones, and you have to look at the top order. Because if the top order don't go well, then the middle order gets a chance, but you are guaranteed of a battle up the top.
Okay. Dab, we'll try and take as many comments as we can in this one after that particular innings that Sri Lanka played, because we weren't able to take it in the pre-match show. So let's see what our viewers are saying in our segment that we very fondly called No More with What More. Okay, this one comes in from Navya, who asks, she asks about Pakistan. Should we take a comment about Pakistan a little later, perhaps?
Yeah, but it's still one of our viewers.
She asks, Pakistan, after realizing now they reach Karachi sooner to enjoy World Cup knockouts at home.
What she's saying is she doesn't think Pakistan will have a chance of playing in the semi-final. They'll go home quicker to watch the the finals from their homes. So probably right.
You do think Pakistan don't have a chance?
Let's after this game, you'll know what the run rate is.
Yeah.
The run rate could really blow out. You know, they're not going to take too long to get those runs. So, you know, anyway, look at the net run rate now.
Yeah.
You know, 0.398 and Pakistan's 0.036. That's a big difference.
A big gap.
So you can only assume that 0.398 will be even higher. It's going to be really difficult.
Okay. This is from Loki, who asks, should India be worried about New Zealand in the semis? On the lines of what I was trying to ask you. However, I asked if Kiwis should be worried about playing India in the semis.
I don't know about being worried. I think India was happy to play anybody that finishes on fourth.
Yeah.
And they're in such good nick at the moment that they'd be confident going into every game. But still, you know, once you enter, you know, after you played 9 games, you're in the semi-final. It's a pure knockout. You play badly, and you're out. That's the added pressure that teams have to live with.
It's on the day that it matters.
It's on the day. So there are teams historically who are really world beaters. When it comes to that, when you draw the line and you enter that knockout phase, there are some teams that just bottle it and they just can't quite grasp it.
If we try and look at the Champions League qualification from this table, not just the semis, which team would you say has the best chance to make it?
They stay at 9, right?
Yeah.
Netherlands will definitely lose, I would think, against India on Sunday.
Yep.
Bangladesh play, who do they play? Bangladesh, they play England, don't they?
Pakistan plays England.
Sorry, Pakistan play England. Well, Bangladesh must play.
I will just get that for you.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Bangladesh next plays Australia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Australia. So you would think that Australia, they've already qualified, so the pressure's off them. You would think that they would be a little bit too strong for Bangladesh, so they also stay where they are. And they would be fairly confident of at least staying at number 8, I would think. I mean, they have to, do well. They have to really try hard. But I'm just giving my opinion on what the result will be. Just particularly when captain's had a little fracture in that pinky, that little finger, and gone home. So they're going to be clearly weakened. He was man of the match last game. And very good at appealing too. So he'll be missing, and Bangladesh will miss him a lot. So I would think that 8, 9, 10 may remain where they are.
Do we still expect Angelo Matthews to show his skills with the ball? Because especially after that incident, he got Shakib Al Hasan in that match. Almost looked like divine retribution. Would you think that he has more than a point to prove in today's match at least?
Well, he didn't get too many with the bat. Yeah, but he certainly. The time taken from where he was when the wicket fell, I think it was a record. He ran down the steps, ran on the field, and he was ready to take strike well before the 2-minute allocated time.
He's making note of that.
He'll be required to do a little bit of bowling, I would have thought. He is accurate. He does. Last time he played here against England, he got a couple of wickets. And he just wobbles at balls a little bit. He's not quick, but if you take him lightly, you could get a little edge. But this could be his last game in the World Cup anyway. And
he will try and make that count.
Yes.
All right. So let's take a few more comments. This is from Rakhi, who says, if New Zealand need to increase their net run rate, Kane shouldn't come to the crease 1 down if the first wicket is unfortunately gone.
Why? He can he can accelerate when he wants to. Last game he batted at 3 on this very ground, and he was run out in the end, but he got an 80 something in fairly quick time. You know, he was part of that 400. So
I think what they want is Kane Williamson's century every time.
But he's a very, very good player, and very he's a terrific player for New Zealand, and very much needed as a captain.
Right. Okay, this is from Misha, who asks, why Sri Lanka has not been declared as a winner till now? As far as I know, Pereira has killed the match with his fast 50.
He's killed the game.
I think what she means to say is that he has really impressed with his quick fire 50.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he did, you know, he was lucky that he got dropped. You know, that 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, Latham would have caught that. You know, for some inexplicable reason he missed it, and he survived, and then off he went, you know, and it was a little bit more of the old Kusal Pereira that we know. Both sides very much on the off. He loves the offside, over the top, and then a pickup shot on the leg side. So, you know, finally he got some runs, and they were hoping he would have done that a bit earlier. But yeah, he did he made a good contribution. But again, he got out right before the power play overs, and that was the 5th wicket.
Who are you most disappointed with in Sri Lankan batting lineup?
All of them, all of the top.
If you had to just pick one name,
the top 5. Well, the one that gets a start, Ish, is Pereira. If you get a start, I know he's, you know, I play my way, you know, that's the way I play. Well, that's right, you should do. But when you get to a certain point and the team requires you to do something a little different, you got to do what the team requires.
Yeah. Not Mendes, perhaps. He's had a couple of good knocks.
Mendes was disappointing, but he did get out early. Again, playing that shot. Tell you what, I would be saying to him, you don't even think about playing that cross-bat shot that he plays. He can play very well until you're 25, 30. Everything has to be in the V. All I want you to do is think about hitting it back past the bowler, round about there, and along the ground. Nothing in the air, only on the ground. After you get the 25, go for it.
Okay. Also, I was observing for you, Dab, only 3 extras by New Zealand.
well, that's good, isn't it? I mean, 40, how many overs did they bowl? 47? 40, whatever?
46.4.
Okay, so 3 extra deliveries.
Yeah.
That's what you got to try and do.
That's how it's supposed to be done. I will actually pull out the exact number
of extras. There we go. There's 46.4.
Dab is very particular about that. Yeah, 4 extras.
It's not a good read if you're a Sri Lankan supporter.
3 wides, 4 extras in all.
Yeah, I was referring to the progression. Not a good read.
Yeah.
Neither is this if you're a Sri Lankan supporter.
Okay, let's try and get a few more comments.
Okay.
This is from Akshat, who asks, how demoralizing is it for Pakistan as New Zealand is likely to win by a big margin?
Yeah, I can only imagine, you know, everyone sitting there watching and hoping. And then with each over that came and went in the first 10 overs, they would have sunk down further and further in their seat.
Yeah.
They would have been very upset, I'm sure. So, you know, now it's the second half that you know, they'd be hoping against all hope that Sri Lanka can do something, but heart of hearts, they would know they would know it's, you know, it's very difficult for them now.
Okay, this is from Gautam, who asks, is it encouraging signs for England that Sri Lanka lost big time?
For England, well, they're above Sri Lanka anyway, right?
Yeah.
They really have a very important job to do. In their next match, they have to, you know, win that game to ensure that they're safe for that big Champions Trophy in 2 years' time. So, you know, we said that all along. Okay, this is the last 2 games they got, and they beat Netherlands. There were some worrying signs, but the good sign, of course, was Ben Stokes getting 100. And Dawood Malan continuing his good form at the top. But, you know, again, they're playing...
They're playing Pakistan.
Pakistan, big game.
Yeah.
Pakistan, they're up for it. even though it's going to be really difficult with run rate to catch up.
Okay. This is from Hemant, who asks, are all New Zealand all better in semi-finals?
They play better in semi-finals. It's the team that can erase all those distractions and the pressures that I think that will prosper. And they have a little habit to, despite all the crowd being against them, they have a little habit to be competitive. I'm not saying they can win it, but I think they gave India a scare the last time they played. So, and if it wasn't for the really great effort of Bumrah and one or two of his friends in that last 10, where New Zealand could only score 54 in that last 10 overs, with plenty of wickets in hand. So it's the skill of those Indian cooks to bowl in a very difficult period that did the trick for that. So they were looking like scoring close to 300, I would have thought. It wasn't to be. So they're competitive, that's for sure, New Zealand.
Okay, perhaps we can talk about the semis in the post-match because
yeah,
that will give us more clarity on the results.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Aditya, who asks, which team will be more dangerous for India in the semi-finals? Either New Zealand or Pakistan? Experts.
Yeah.
There's only one expert here, to be honest. It's
Wouldn't
Mr.
look.
Dabney.
I think Pakistan would be. I think the answer to that question is New Zealand, but I think everyone would love to see India play Pakistan again.
Yeah.
And that would be in Kolkata, not Mumbai. If that happened, that would be an absolute huge draw card. Semi-final, World Cup, India, Pakistan. Wow.
Mouth-watering clash.
Mouth-watering clash, but I think that won't happen, sadly.
Okay. Miraj says Matthews went all the way to join the World Cup in the middle of the tournament and performing seriously. At least his fans and himself should understand he is timed out now.
Angela Matthews, he should understand he was timed out.
He is timed out now. I think what he means to say is that...
He's finished. Certainly he won't be playing any more World Cup games. But he may linger on to help the team out if required. But certainly he's at the end of his career, having had served the country well for many years, and even as a good captain too. Okay. It's very sad that his injuries stopped him short.
Yep.
Hamstrings.
Okay. This is from Vic, who says, they are playing against the time now. That's it.
Who's playing against the time?
Vic, that's all he says. I'm assuming when Sri Lanka were batting.
Oh.
Is when this one's coming.
One of the things you always say, you want to bat the 50 overs.
Yeah.
Please bat the 50 overs because even if you scrape up, a handful of runs can make a difference.
Yeah. They were trying to do that.
They did, and they were quite successful at it. They're only 3.5 overs from realising that 50-over effort. So it's a pity their mates beforehand didn't do much.
Okay, this is from Ritik, who says, if New Zealand chase it down in 15 overs, then Pakistan would have to defeat England by 578 runs to qualify. Now it's looking like it's over. I just truly admire the meticulous calculations that our viewers have been doing.
Yeah.
578 runs, he says.
That's a special, skill to have that, right?
Yeah. Ritik, do tell us if you're a statistician, because you've not only managed to get that score in mind, but he also says in 15 overs.
Yeah, that's provided New Zealand win in 15. That's not going to happen either. They'll take a lot more than that.
They will. How many do you think they'll take?
I think they can get it in, I think 25.
25?
Yeah.
Okay.
25, that's...
with the likes of Ravindra, Conway...
Yeah, that's a good,
Williamson,
good
everyone
pitch, a very fast outfield and a small boundary.
So you think they'll still take 25 overs?
Let
me not confuse you. I'm just genuinely asking, because you do have a comparatively more solid batting order that the Kiwis play with.
Yeah, and also you need a little bit of time in that first 10 as well, don't forget. If the ball's starting to do all sorts of things. Although the spinner, I think Thikshana will bowl. Generally speaking, the first 10 underlights is a little harder than the others. So I think they've got to be a little careful.
Okay.
And that'll drag it to 25.
Drag it to 25 being the operative term here. Okay. This is from, these are a few poll questions that we asked you guys earlier on. We asked you who will be New Zealand's best player versus Sri Lanka. Options were Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson, Trent Boult, Tim Southee. Trent Boult has already impressed with his bowling.
He did today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But then who do you think otherwise will be the best player for New Zealand versus Sri Lanka?
In the second half?
Yes.
Have to be one of the top 3 batters, isn't it? I think I went for Kane Williamson from memory in the pre-match.
Okay.
I'll stay with Kane Williamson.
Okay. So Rachin Ravindra gets the most votes with 64.3. Kane Williamson only 24.3. Trent Boult 7. Tim Southee 4. Lots of support for Rachin Ravindra.
Yeah, and so we should.
Okay. This is something that we asked before the match began, and we weren't able to take the poll questions in that time, and we promised you we'll be telling you the results, and it'll be interesting to see what the results were when juxtaposed against the innings what we just saw. Who is going to be Sri Lanka's best player is what we asked. Our options were Sadira Samaravikrama, Pathum Nissanka, Angelo Matthews, Dishmanta Chamira. I will tell you the results because...
I got it wrong.
Yeah, you picked out whom?
Samaravikrama, I think.
Yeah. So actually I was expecting a lot more from him as well. He got the most number of votes too, but he got out for 1 run. And 34.4% go to Samaravikrama, followed by Angelo Matthews, then Nissanka, and then Chamira. Okay. So with that, okay, I'm going to take one last comment. And after that, we will wrap up our show here. Dav has another broadcast at 6:30. Make sure you tune into that one as well. This is from Mukul, who asks, Sri Lanka's national anthem took more time than those 5 wickets. That's what he says.
It is long. It is a long national anthem, you know. And they have a shorter version, but it's not played. It's the longer version that plays, yeah. It is the longest one, I think.
I still don't think it took more time than the 5 wickets. You know, because I expect more from our viewers, considering how meticulous they are with their calculations. 15 overs, 578 runs needed. Okay.
5 wickets took 10 overs to get, so obviously it's less than... The anthem was a few minutes.
Than that. Okay. All right, with that, we will wrap up proceedings on this edition of WION World of Cricket. We will be back with the post-match show. Dav has to go for another edition of WION World of Cricket at 6:30. Make sure you catch that one with Digvijay Singh there. Well, that's it from me, Isha. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye.